Or say hi to the cameras.
Welcome to the Offspace podcast. It's your host with the motherfreaking most, Hugo Offer.
And it's your favorite co-host, the boy wonder. I'm just kidding. It's your favorite co-host, as Hugo Offer. I was about to give the whole spiel, but I'm like, I'm not doing that today.
You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful day. It's the 4th of July. Shouts out to this beautiful country and everything that it's afforded us, everything that it's offered us. There's a lot of wrong, of course, but we're not weirdos that think you can't hold something you love accountable. So while also in the same breath, me talking about how much I love America, I do understand why people may have grievances, but shouts out to the celebration of this country today.
I mean, man, we were born here, and I'm not saying that's like reason to, again, not hold anything accountable, but I was born here. I want to find pride in my home because I know I've seen a lot of dope shit here from my community, from just all around the places I grew up, people of all communities I've grown up and been around too, and just seeing like the pockets of like the beauty of America past the bullshit that we keep going through and have historically been going through. So there's some upside to it, but hey, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to make sure that everybody is taken care of, and we're going to make sure that we're keeping this country on the right path. So
let's change the world, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Ski. But moving right along, we do want to introduce our co-host for the day. Shouts out to Oliver. Oliver, say hi to the camera.
He's like, this again? Y'all gotta stop holding me up.
Nah,
he loves it, low-key.
No, he likes all the attention in the world. You can get back down
He wants
there.
to go back to his spot.
But he is just a dog, of course, and it's the 4th. And so I got to keep my man close to me when these firework gunshots are going off.
Like, bro, the first firework that went off, instantly me and you both turned and looked at each other. It was just like that moment of what the fuck was that? I just did it.
Is that perceptive? Is that being perceptive? Or do our people need to be freed from the shackles of fireworks making you feel like gunshots?
Bro, I'm in Atlanta. 2 weekends ago, I went out. I'm not saying like this city's the worst for like gun violence and shit, but 2 weekends ago, I went out to a bar that while I was at the bar, somebody got shot, and I don't know if they died, but relatively close to where I was. Like, and things happen all the time. You never know. So I just err on the side of caution. We live in a highly populated city. Take that as you will.
No, I was about to make jokes of that, but of course we're not going to do that today. But
this isn't Lennox, though.
No, we not next to Lennox, thank God. Like,
yeah.
if I was closer to Lennox, maybe I would have been able to confuse the fireworks with activities going on in front of the Apple Store or anything. But like, just imagine that. Like, a nigga wake up. Imagine, bro. I know this is fucked, but whatever. It's our podcast. But it's like, bro, imagine you woke up in the morning stoked.
Yeah.
Stoked because you've waited 5 years of filling out every single Yeezy raffle, and then all of a sudden and
one you get.
So you finally win the Yeezy raffle, you get to go to Lennox and finally collect your shoes. You've been waiting, bro. You told all your dogs, you're like, oh, this is the outfit I'm about to match with this one, whoop whoop whoop, and then some Lennox activity happened.
Bro, I think about that a lot because I'm the nigga that's entering for the raffle, bro. And I don't always get it. But when I do and I'm going to collect my shit, I'm just like, is it me?
I got to send somebody with my ID. I'm going to send somebody, just a black dude with my ID, and pay some nigga. And hope for the fact.
Say, hey, can you go pick it up for me, bro?
I'll be like, I'll just hope the person working there can't tell the difference. I'll be like,
so
this might work in our advantage today.
Bro, we live in the city. It's going to be other black people for the most part at these stores doing the work too are going to be giving. They're going to look at it like, this isn't you, bro.
Then they might just be like,
this isn't you.
Oh, you're right.
You're not that guy.
Because whichever ones don't come and get claimed, they probably get first dibs to buy them.
For
so
sure.
they're probably just,
or their homies.
They're probably triple checking them IDs. Like, is this really you?
Bro, you could have shaved and it might be a bad day for you because of it.
Imagine not getting your Yeezys because you didn't shave.
I'm like, please, man.
But how you been this last week, my
I've
boy?
been feeling good. This week, again, has just been continued on the air of I'm trying to just strive for greatness, year 18 type shit, you know, and shout out to LeBron, but truly just living my life every day, not thinking about that fact that could be my last, because that's not the side that I'm trying to err on anymore, but living it essentially like it could be, in the sense of live every day fulfilled, no regrets, and trying to shoot for what you're trying to accomplish. So I've been doing a lot, but every day I wake up and every day I go to sleep, I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but it's happy exhausted. It's like when you get out of the gym and it's like, damn, I just put in work, you know?
Exactly.
And I wake up.
You're living.
And I'm like, time to get back to it, you know? So I've been putting in a lot of effort trying to get certain things together for this camping trip that we're going on. And
he said weird. That's not involving me, by the way, y'all.
No, me and 2 of my friends. I'm gonna definitely record some content for the Offspace though, but I couldn't pay Chuka to be out there. That's really gonna take. I don't know what kind of convincing that's gonna take. I think we have
a big company, by the way,
on the Offspace actually from a few episodes ago about what it would take to get you out there, and you agreed. I don't remember what it is, but we'll go back and figure it out.
The best thing about niggas being lazy is he's never gonna go actually find what it was.
So you're safe. Somebody's gonna dig it up. Whoever's listening to this episode, or whenever you listen to it, maybe a year down the road, go back and figure that out for us. So please let us know.
If one of my dogs actually told us that, I'd be so sad. Don't be my ops, y'all.
Bro, but past that though, one of the biggest things that I actually have been working on today that kind of delayed the podcast, which is interesting, was creating a diet plan because I am going backpacking, right? And so going through the options of what you can bring, and I know, like, obviously, I know what to expect from being out in the wilderness and having camp myself. It's not going to be the most glorious meals, but this only makes it even harder, really, backpacking, because you can't dip off halfway and be like, oh, I'm going to go to the truck real quick and, like, drive off to town and figure it out, bring back some food, and then really just enjoy your time. Like, the meals are looking debatable, but I'm proud of myself because I really charted this bitch out, the calories and everything, and like trying to make sure that we're taken care of.
Charted this thing out.
Oh yeah, charted this thing
Sunday
out.
Still.
I talked to Chuka about trying to curse less, and I think I've cursed more since we started. So I'm gonna try my best. But yeah,
that's camera action, ABC. I promise you, I'm ready if y'all need me.
Wow, you're gonna ditch the Offspace to go work for the man?
No, I mean, like, if we were on Good Morning America or something, they'd say, yo, don't cuss, and then you wouldn't be able to.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't get invited. Might be. All right.
I feel like my brother cusses too much. I got you.
It's funny because I feel like it's the... Who do you think actually does? I want to ask you how your day's been and get into it, but now that we're on this realm, who do you actually think does? Because I think I might, and it's because of the gamer days.
Who do I think does what?
Curses more.
You curse more in situations where people would assume people to curse, like a podcast or just like kicking it with the homies, like that kind of thing. I feel like I curse more in just regular everyday life because like, one, niggas ain't shit. Fuck these hoes. Like, blah, blah, blah. No, let me stop.
Whoa.
No, I'm joking.
No. All right, well, back to square one.
Back to square one.
This episode wasn't for children. I guess we should stop the explicit, but yeah, man. But past all that, how's your week been? How's your day been?
Bro, my week's been awesome. I've been feeling a lot of the same of what you've been talking about. I go hard, bro. That's the homie. But I've been feeling a lot of what you've been talking about too, just because, I mean, I set out with a plan for the summer. We're not going to dive too deep into all of the little nuances of that because I'd rather show people than tell people, of course. Like, there's a lot of things that I like to reveal to the world. Of course, I'm an open book, but the funniest part about being an open book is how much you still don't know. You know,
for sure.
And so, like, with like the internet persona and like trying to be somebody that, you know, is in the public eye, a public figure, like whatever you may look at it as, you still have to have some things you reserve for yourself. But with, like, moving on with that, it's my typical week has become extremely busy. I've been extremely busy for the past few weeks, and that just seems like it's going to continue throughout the summer, hopefully into the fall. And it's beautiful, man. It just makes me feel loved from like a money standpoint in terms of just like working and like things of that nature, because it makes things, I don't know, just having like reliable, dope stuff you can do is always like a thing that like lifts your spirits because of just like the obvious. I was going to go into that, but all of us have higher than a 8th grade comprehension level. You could probably understand that. But moving on from that, like, I've been working out every day again, thank God, but I mean to different extents. Like, I try not to push myself in a way that's going to make me burn out, right? But I also try to keep that active lifestyle because I think that this on the other side of discipline is success for everybody. So finding whatever you need for discipline is very necessary to keep going forward. But besides that, like you said, it's like I've been exhausted almost every single night. And that is because, I mean, I'm working, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually hustling. I'm actually really out here trying to do what I need to do and make the connections I need to make. But to wrap that up.
Make sure you're talking up into it.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear myself.
Okay.
I'm good, my boy. Don't worry.
Oh,
That's why I got these on.
Oh, for sure. I'll just make it clear. My ass is just like, all right. This man's giving some heartfelt stuff. And what if the viewers don't hear it?
No, I feel
you.
The
listeners don't get it.
It's hilarious, though, too, just because of this. But no, I appreciate you, my boy. But, yeah, I've been good, though. Good mental, good spirits. Like, I definitely love all my people. I've been seeing people periodically, like as of recent, that I haven't seen in a long time. Shouts out to all the homies. Y'all know who you are. Normally I try to give names, but I've seen too many people on accident and on purpose as of recent. But
too many people on accident and on purpose.
But I've been happy to see, you know what I'm saying? Pleasant surprises. But
life's unexpected ones. Bro,
I wanted to give one last thing to wrap up my whole thing is I had a wonderful experience with one of the newer homies earlier today. Hopefully you guys will be able to share in that soon, but not even diving too deep on that side. Y'all get it whenever y'all get it, being quite honest. But I wanted to talk about or give a shout out to Food for Thought, like his clothing brand, because even I showed T, like everybody, and then that's only a small sample size so far because once again I've been in the crib, I've been working, but everybody's loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the branding, the quality,
he has
the
dope
logos, everything's just kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he walked in, we're not trying to do this to obviously give this isn't like a paid promotion or anything. So I don't want anybody to be listening.
Stuff we love.
Exactly. Don't expect us to be on like that. You already know what to expect from us. But truly, as soon as I walked in and saw the clothes that Chuka was talking about and telling me about, I instantly fell in love. I need the hoodie. I need that one ordered ASAP. And getting ready for fall.
Oh yeah, my boy said he's ready to cop, and
oh my goodness,
like my dog was happy enough to, of course, give me a little pack of the stuff that he had, and like after our conversation earlier, and just I'm grateful and thankful to be like that's a customer, and like that's somebody that he now has a customer, me, because when you have quality, as you guys have seen with Off the Porch and like all the other things that I try to promote on my own platforms and on the podcast, it's the dopest thing in the world, and I'll continue to always say it, is having friends who do dope stuff, because I'm so happy to be about it, not just talk about it. Like I rock my friend stuff like it is Louis V, like it is Off-White, like it is like any of these high-end brands or high-end streetwear brands. Like my homie stuff is Chrome Hearts to me, because you know why? If people make quality, why am I running to something that I'm not looking for? Also, one other shout out to the homie, because I just bought some workout stuff from him for Perfect Fitness, and that's just the homie Trey. Been once again doing awesome things, and he started his fitness brand. Been waiting for this drop. This is one I've been waiting for actual months though. Like I've been telling this man every single time I see him, I'm like, dog, when is this coming out? Like when is this coming out? Because this stuff is fire, and I want it, and we got it.
Yeah, no, that's dope, and we're gonna keep promoting, keep showing, and keep sharing the content in all forms of things that we like from people that we fuck with.
Big companies' branding is about to disappear from our stuff, though.
Very fast, unless they're paying us. Because at the end of the day, too, if we believe in something, we want to share the option for y'all to at least know about it. Maybe get it yourselves if you want to, but just share what we are into. So without further ado, though, let's go ahead and get into the rest of it. You were talking about unlikely meetings. I do feel the need to say something. I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in 5 years. 3 different times on the same day.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's nuts.
That shit was
Shouts
crazy.
Out to the homie. That's cool as hell.
I'm taking that as a sign to hang out and see what he's been on, because that's crazy.
And the fact that y'all ended up like exchanging information and like all of that stuff afterwards too, just because it was like, bro, we've seen each other too much. Like we need to start linking. Like we need to hang out. So shouts out to the homie there. But moving right along into the typical discourse. But let's start with heat checks then. Ezgo, what's your heat check for the week?
My heat check is Tell 'Em by Cochise and Snot.
Hey,
I got the name right too. Y'all say that we don't take preparation into our podcast, but today we did.
Hopefully I'm playing this from the right spot, by the way. But nah, that's hard. I fuck with I screw with. Sorry, I was trying to be better, but
yeah, we're
the young generation and like that hype young sound for sure.
Yeah, that was my heat check. It's been in rotation for a minute. I don't know why I just waited till now, so I hope it's not too old and I'm considered Gramps or some shit, but if y'all like it, check it out.
Yes, sirski. And then my heat check is going to be a song called That's Life. It's a single from 2019
Yeah.
from 88 Keys featuring Mac Miller and Sia. R.I.P. the GOAT.
He said nothing better than the head after a long day.
And that's facts. Oh my goodness.
And that's facts.
But shouts out to Mac Miller, shouts out to Sia, shouts out to 88 Keys. That's life.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
just
life, man.
Beautiful
So let's get to
tune.
it.
But moving right along to some of the new drops that, and not necessarily new to be honest. This is just some stuff that I wanted to talk about. Period. This week that came out. I'll skim through like the things I know that I may have just listened to, and then we'll get to the overarching one that we're gonna end up talking about, of course. But the brand.
Okay. It's crazy because in my mind I was like, damn, I don't know if we're on the same wavelength right now.
Really?
Nah, I got you.
But I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to an artist. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I'll just put on this week, and his music is incredible. Callan, FR. It might be Callan for real, whatever it is.
I feel like you got to say for real.
But his album is called 2FR2 and then the number 2, just for searching purposes. So TWOFR space the number 2, but it's 2 for real 2.
Okay.
But like super hard album. Then also this week I was listening to the Ty Dolla $ign and Division single for sure. I Believed It featuring.
How'd you like
Miller.
it?
That one was smooth. It gave me the same kind of feelings like we were just doing with the last song with That's Life, in terms of just like the smooth Mac.
I haven't heard it yet, but I've been meaning to get to it. It slipped me, so I'm going to have to pop into that too. Honestly, I'm going to check it out with the viewers, so whoever listens to it, let me know what you think, because I'm going to be right there with y'all.
Yes, Sirski. And then other songs for this week. I mean, I'm just excited for the Division and Ty Dolla $ign's project in general, just because A, they're two people that make outstanding music, just point blank period. But B, I feel like them leading with a single like this and hearing the story about the single too, because I heard it on another podcast where Division was talking about how they finished that song like 3 days before Mac passed. And he was like very active in the process. He was so excited. He took it back to his house so he could mix it himself. Because
he was like, I need to get
sure
this like perfect. I'm on
like,
it.
That's beautiful. R.I.P. Mac Miller for real. But I want to give a huge shout out to, and I believe, and I don't want to say it wrong, it's just because the homie Brianna and all of them are from Austin. So I'm assuming it's an Austin rap group. But it's an album called Black Ice that dropped this week by Coach Tev, Blake Chris, and it was produced by J.O.8. That album was really good as well. A Whole Lot of Ice by Big Walk Dog featuring Lil Baby and Cochise. That's the newest 1017 signee, but I believe he may not be the newest anymore. He was the newest until I think like 2 days ago Gucci signed somebody else.
Signing everybody.
And they're all five. It's craziness. It's madness. G Herbo and Youngin Ace both dropped albums. Youngin Ace, of course, had Who I Smoke on there and just a few other offerings. He had a song called Chop Before My Enemies featuring G Herbo. So, I mean, that's something that I definitely want to get to at a point. But G Herbo was rapping on this new one, man.
G Herbo, he gained a lot of favor with me.
I remember.
He gained a lot of favor with me.
And this is
what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna let me sound like a hater, and
I thought you were gonna say about what I used to say.
No, and I actually love G Herbo, like G Herbo's music. I'm pretty sure I was the person that tried to put you on like early to G Herbo. But
I don't know, because it was about the XXL time that he got it. Is when I started like trying to pay attention to his stuff, and I just remember at the time I was like, damn, this nigga sound like he been on like some Black Mouth or some shit, voice fucked up and his blah, blah, blah. And I was like finding a reason to hate until I remember later on, I sat down, I don't remember what the song was, but I just was listening. I was like, nah, this nigga's rapping.
Oh, what?
He's rapping
like,
for real.
what?
And it's quality. So I stopped being a hater. I released that hate from my heart, looking through life through a different lens and made it 10 times better experience listening.
That man is an excellent artist, excellent rapper. I definitely always want to give shouts outs and love to G Herbo. But I mean, I definitely remember something ironic. There was one freestyle that everybody loved.
Yeah.
That you thought this nigga blacked out on. But
I'm trying to remember. That's what it was.
I was sitting there thinking that freestyle was for G Herbo for me. But everyone else was like, bro, you're bugging. Because I just know so many songs where this man just like left his body tweaking. But I feel you, though.
The thing is, and you say like you know so many, but I remember watching that. I saw his body leave him. I saw his soul leave his body. It's like, so whatever you're talking about, it happened.
Maybe I got to re-listen to it, though, because I've been in a different lens, because that's definitely someone I want to support.
For sure.
But moving on from Herbo, before we even get to the Brent single, of course, we're going to talk about that. I wanted to bring up this actual discussion that we saw on the internet earlier, just because we didn't talk about it a little bit more thoroughly. I don't even know if it deserves to be talked about thoroughly. Early, yeah. But it was basically, the discussion was Lil Durk, because of all his success and how he's been one of the people helping run rap this last probably like half decade.
Oh yeah.
Like if him or Chief Keef were to go up against each other in a 10-song versus, who would win? And I think, with all due respect to Durk, because Durk is definitely one of my favorite artists currently, like out of these new artists and that new man, I think we need to really just like dial into the realities of what that Chief Keef
I was about to say.
was.
Chief Keef was doing something that I'd never seen before. It was one of those that like, if you don't listen to his music, you listen to his music. Like if you never heard of him, that was the time you had to figure out. Bro. People who don't even listen to the genre. I remember we're just listening to hella Chief Keef.
Don't like. Whew. A fuck nigga. What are you playing after that song? Because that's a point.
Dirk and Dej. There was a pause there for all the audio listeners who might not have understood what was going on, but Chick was in disbelief, essentially. That I had the gall to say that.
What the?
I'm going to stand by it.
See, you're trying to get us to not curse, and you can't say stuff like that. I was about to tweet. I almost blacked out.
I'm over here saying some out of pocket stuff to the point that my brother's ready to just go crazy.
But like that is something that I think amongst other artists, because there's even better discussion to be had. Just moving on to Tyler after this, but it's like there are certain artists that I feel like people forget the grand scheme and like the whole scope of their careers, and honestly,
because of like where they are in the current day, because you can say the same with certain people. Not a lot of people are beating Fetty Wap. Not a lot of people are beating Fetty Wap.
Bro, Fetty Wap had 3 songs in the top 5. I've never seen it other than like a Drake
on Billboard. Billboard, because Drake got that just now.
You know what I'm saying?
And was that even Billboard or was it just album?
It was Billboard.
Okay, it was Billboard
just now.
And he just got it.
Like Fetty Wap did that in like 15? Or was it before
2016? 2015? It was 2015,
like,
I think.
What?
Kind of crazy.
But there's certain people, but even like Tyler, like we talked about, not realizing that artists like transitioned into legend because it's somebody I grew with, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's weird being like, damn, like this man really is a legend. Like he's a decade in, 5 albums that were straight fire. Every single album was good that he dropped. And so like 5 albums straight run, like very different sounds per project. Like he really did just everything you want somebody to do that to transition to legend.
Yeah.
But you forget because his age is an early 3. You know what I'm saying? Like you forget because of how young he is.
Is he even 30 yet?
I'm sure
maybe like 29.
He might be 29. I know he's older than me by a couple years.
So he might be almost there. That's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, we're just so used as like a society as not giving people their flowers until they're old. And I get like, let's save the comparisons for when people fully write their story. If you're trying to compare who did it to a certain extent in a realm and like, I guess when it comes to like a competitive nature, but when you're just talking on like what people are doing, I think it's fair to actively say certain people are legends, actively say certain people are doing some shit that you have to put in a certain realm because we're watching it. It took us until this year for people really to be talking about Chris Paul, how they need to be talking about Chris Paul. When at the same time, I know we were watching the same games when he was playing for New Orleans, and we were just calling it early. It's like this guy is different.
Like really different. The field general as a kid, and then it's just become more seasoned. Now he's like
now he's almost on his way out, and he's still playing amazingly. But he doesn't have that many more. He's on the end of his career.
He's the dude in anime where you think about like they going against like the legendary general or whatever that comes out, and you're like, bro, what? How is he so skilled? How does he lead so well? How does he this? How does he that? Like, Chris literally does
like,
everything right in this sport. Everything right in this sport. And he's got the dog mentality of a competitor. So, I mean, like, we show love there. But I also wanted to give a shout out because we were talking about Mac earlier for the fact that he has, the family has announced that he started a Mac Miller grant.
Can we go ahead and give it up for that one time?
Oh, for sure. We got to. Like, he started a Mac Miller grant for $1,000 to, I believe it's 75 diverse artists in Pennsylvania.
Is it 75 per year?
They're artists of color. I think it's going to be a yearly grant.
A yearly grant for 75 people for $1,000. $75,000 going out every year. Where's that money coming from? Regardless of where it's coming from, like, that's just kind of like, congratulations to them, and I'm happy they're really doing that much to help people. You know what I mean?
And he's looking, and it's artists of color and stuff. Like, it's definitely something that makes me happy because we know.
What would you, if you were one of those artists, and what would you have done with that money? Obviously, you're not, and like, it might be hard to pinpoint. I guess the best. Don't take this next section as like an advice piece or anything. I'm just asking Chuka if he got that money, what he would have done. So that's what I'm trying to get at.
The $1,000.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, I wonder to be okay, because I looked at it. It says that it's for artists to go into their work and to contribute to their work.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, because at first I was thinking about, because the first thing that comes to mind with grants and everything is first thing I'm going to think is school. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I for some reason, just because of like Pell and like little things like that, our whole lives, just hearing those words, that was my first.
So you thought they were going to use it on like
towards tuition and
towards
like
tuition?
That.
Oh no,
it
just a grant. It just grants like
that's
to
incredible.
work on your craft.
Bro.
So like you can make like a studio. You could do certain things for yourself.
You know my.
What would you have done? I don't know. I fuck around. I might have like.
Bro, I would have made a studio. Like, I would have just started to get the pieces that we don't have and just made a studio.
Exactly.
And like, that's first and foremost easy. Like, that easy choice for me. So that's beautiful. That's even more beautiful than I thought. I already thought it was gorgeous because it's giving money you don't have to give. You know what I'm saying? To a bunch of people that never had that
opportunity.
And
you're just, there are definitely probably people that are sitting there thinking, hey, you know what? If a random person just blessed me with this, it just changed my whole life and I could do something with it. And now those people are getting that chance. So
paintbrushes,
nice.
Instruments, like different stuff that these artists couldn't maybe have been renting, maybe had been borrowing. They couldn't imagine paying for themselves. They're now going to be able to do. That's beautiful.
Art's expensive to make, man, especially like physical pieces when you're like painting and stuff or like sculpting. All that's super expensive.
One thing I want to say before we move on, just because I just read this again out of the stuff that I wrote down, and I know this is just such a wild laugh, but it's like, dog, bro, I'm sorry, but it's like, bro, I feel like, yes, people freaked out about it or it wouldn't have been a trending topic, but it's like, I feel like there's not enough freak out in the world for a pit of fire to be coming from the ocean.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to curse crazy right there for a second. The thing I seen, bro, and the tweets going around it were nuts. If y'all haven't seen, apparently, I guess like a ship and like that was holding a lot of oil or something.
A gas.
Or gas something. Or some whatever had an accident to where a lot of the fuel leaked into the ocean and the fire kind of got sparked and started. And so it just looks like the gates of hell are opening up.
No, it genuinely looks like they're summoning somebody.
Bro, I really think that's a cover-up because aliens gotta be real. The shit I saw was going on in the ocean.
Like, what?
I was like, Cthulhu or I don't know what's going on.
Bro, we're about to fight Zakum.
Yo, if anybody catches that, we'll send you a gift card for next episode.
No, bro, please. If anybody catches that reference, please DM us.
Let us know.
But
but it's genuinely that my first, and you saw the tweets around it.
Like, what?
So people were talking about, all us recycling our plastic straws are really gonna help, huh?
Bro, did you see the craziness of like the New York government? I don't know if it was mayor, like whatever. So I don't want to put blame on anybody, but telling people to please not like flush the toilet or like please turn off the AC for like a night so they can preserve power, energy, or something like that.
No, I think it was in California, and it was
in New York.
Oh,
I'm thinking about.
You're thinking about the New York thing, okay?
Because I was about to say.
I know that at least on the West Coast, you know how like there's been like a crazy heat wave and everything going on. Apparently, with how badly it's affecting California and shit too. People are just cranking the AC. Every power's kind of going nuts. So like they've kind of just asked people not to use as much, or to turn off lights and shit, and like try and reduce the power usage because the power grids just can't handle it all. And it's kind of crazy to tell people to turn off the AC though when there's like a historical heat wave. So
Bro,
I don't know about that one.
Someone said that New York is talking about no unnecessary air conditioner use. Someone said 2 of the biggest climate change bills for public power across New York State were introduced last session, and still the suggestion was to turn off your own individual air conditioner. And then people were just panning to
go to Wall Street.
People were panning to immediate videos of Times Square being fully lit up. Like, you know, we've been in them stores. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
crisp
goodness.
AC. We're going hard in these towers and buildings.
If you haven't had the ability to go to Times Square, the lights are going crazy out there.
What?
Everything lit up.
What?
Everything. I think I bought a candy bar that was lit up, bro.
Bro, Times Square might be the only place in the United States that I can think of that at night reminds you of how the pictures of like Tokyo and places look. When it comes to like the amount of lights and signs and stuff everywhere.
I think that's a great, bro. There could be an apocalypse. If there's anything that's gonna be lit up, it's Times Square.
For sure, Times Square going to be going, bro. They're gonna be using them generators powering the whole city and turn them off so that they can power Times Square, bro. They're gonna get that bread. I promise you that. That's different,
man.
That's different.
I need to make another trip out there. It's been too long. Pandemic fees got the air prices going crazy, but shouts out to some friends I have who hooked me up on how to get cheap flights and everything like that. Shouts out Deals for Days. But yeah, man, kind of happy that we're all past that. I hope that we start holding each other accountable though when it does come to like past the environmental shit on like a personal note, really cracking down on corporations and stuff. Because all jokes aside, when it comes to all the stuff that's leaked down the ocean and everything as well, it's kind of nuts, bro. Like the little garbage island that we've learned about for years. As we're getting older, like we lived over 2 decades now, you know what I mean? You're getting close to that 3rd decade. I'm still chilling. As we're getting closer, you realize it only keeps getting bigger. It's not like they solved this issue. Apparently it's like double to quadruple the size of Texas at this point, just floating around in trash. It's not showing up on maps because no one's trying to put that on a map. Like, oh, we got a small continent of trash, you know?
Wait, that much trash?
That much.
In just like one area, like condensed?
It's condensed. It's like pretty big. So it's kind of nuts.
Wait, for real? FR?
I don't fact. Okay, I'm not saying like I'm throwing out a little.
I'm not even sitting here doubting you. I'm just like, I didn't notice.
Exactly. I might be loosely stating the fact here, but there's a lot of trash out there. So if you want to search that another time, feel free to.
No, you're good for sure, Brody.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to get into some of the hottest stuff that's.
Let me know if I'm getting too loud or anything too.
You're good, bro. And I'm trying to monitor those levels the best of my ability, but like. There's one thing that I think is hilarious that was going on in pop culture, I guess, and I want to have a question about both of them, to be honest. All right, the first thing is apparently Spider-Man and Mary Jane are dating for the 3rd movie. for the third time.
Let me not look so disappointed.
They showed pictures, and it's every Spider-Man has dated every Mary Jane so far. That's awesome,
dude. Think about it though. You're on set with these people so much,
designed to have chemistry,
and you're doing multiple design. You're trying to develop that chemistry in general to make the movie.
But it's
work.
just crazy that it's everyone
you see them
has
all the time, and you're doing multiple movies. It's bound to happen.
It's just like the likelihood of everyone, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of movies these niggas don't date. You know what I'm saying? Like, plenty of movies they don't date.
But like, how many of them
every Spider-Man
have this many runs? This is like the 3rd one. This is the 3rd one.
Them niggas have done 48 Fast and Furious movies and have full families at home.
All right, bro, but is but is the how many of these actors of Fast and Furious are popping around like, oh, I going on set trying to develop chemistry with these people? I know some of them. I can't remember all of the roles that popped on that movie at this point. The motherfucker's about to be going to space.
Niggas do porn and go back to their wife.
Okay, look, bro. Like, bro, they're not shooting the same.
Like, I get it.
I'm about to defend it.
I'm saying it's definitely an arena that's gonna breed chemistry in that
going
way.
back to their wives.
But it's like, bro, it can't not be coincidence. Every single Spider-Man has dated every Mary Jane. Like, that's nuts.
That is kind of funny. That is kind of funny.
But my question to you was going to be like, as a young man in this country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Under 25, you know, this is usually y'all's group.
Say it again.
Under 25.
I'm still young.
I need to ask you this.
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
It hurt.
When you saw that Tom took your girl?
She knows she's not mine. But, you know, at the same time, it did hurt a little bit. It hurt a little bit. I feel like he won.
Do you have anything to say to him?
Something to say to Tom.
Knowing that a colonizer took your black queen?
Wow, I'm not calling Tom. All right, I don't even know what to say anymore. That shit caught me completely left. Completely left. Can't even do that one. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy for that couple. You know, those two individuals are gonna find peace and happiness and whatever. And I hope that makes the next movie that much better. I got to meet both of y'all at some point. Friend of the show, come on the pod.
For sure, we will discuss relationships. But
this thing is.
That's hilarious. But then the next thing is the TikTok strike, the black TikTok strike.
Yeah.
And so if some of you guys don't know, I don't know if we've already like talked about it on the pod at some point, but if some of y'all don't know, the black creators of TikTok got kind of over the a lot of them got over the fact that a lot of the
dancing variety,
the dancing variety, of course, but it's like a lot of the most poppin' TikTokers have like taken these dances, and of course it's viral dances, so I get you, but they'll end up getting credit. They'll end up being brought in, like we saw with the Addison Rae situation like years ago.
Like, get your shit off, do the dance, but it's the people who are responding to it, only giving them the shine.
And like companies calling you to come do your renegade dance when it's not yours. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that, of course, doesn't make sense and it's crazy. But black TikTok creatives were getting a little bit tired of this happening over and over, so they took a strike. They said they're just not creating dances anymore. So then I'm not even going to repeat the title of that article because it was one of the most tasteless things ever, but they're trying to assume black people aren't supporting certain artists.
Then don't
that's what I'm saying.
Don't give that a shot.
I'm not going to talk about the artist, but it's just like, that's nuts to try to always spin black people standing up for themselves as a negative, like they continue to do. But shouts out to all of them. Shouts out to how beautiful that whole movement has been. My main question to you is, did you get sad knowing that you have nothing to practice in the mirror at night anymore?
Bro, see, it's crazy because when we had this conversation a minute ago, Chuka said, bro, I'm only asking you questions, real shit that are in a certain type of way anymore. Don't even worry about it. He told me, bro, don't even worry about it. I got you. And he's back on the same bullshit. I really got sad as fuck, though. Like, I be in those mirrors late nights just thinking to myself, I might be the next one. I got to get the moves right.
Bro, I got to hit him with the renegade.
Bro, man just said renegade in 2021. Like, deep 2021, too. You're old as hell, bro. You got to say one of the newer ones.
I don't know them, bro. What are they supposed to be? Is it like the Carol Baskins?
Bro, they're on strike. I don't know. What is it? You don't see it, but it's kind of crazy because all the dances and things that you've seen to these sounds now, at least in recent times, it's primetime comedy. It's like I'm watching.
Bro,
it's like it's 2005, and I'm watching America's Funniest Home Videos. It's just primetime comedy. I've seen that one. It made me uncomfortable, to be honest.
Some of the dances that have been created on TikTok, once the black people have stopped, is some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Like, whoa, she's spazzing.
Yeah, she's trying to do her thing, and I see what she was going for. It just didn't work. The little walk off at the end, like
she's tripping, bro.
I was like, what are you doing? But she was feeling herself, so I guess.
And then
it ain't going viral though. No, you're the only one doing that dance. I want you to remember that.
But I didn't know if you wanted to give insight on, just because of the connection here, because it does transition us into sports, of course, and then we could talk about the dope positives of the change of the NIL rule, which we'll read into that, of course, for you guys, and then also just like playoff stuff, of course, but and some of the Olympic stuff, because I wanted to talk about how positive and dope Sha'Carri has kind of how she's handled that situation has been beautiful. In my opinion, it sucks. Obviously, you can't run, but you have to move past that.
Yeah, I get that. It's just super lame because I'm still hung up on the fact that like you don't get to see a peak athlete do what they do on the best stage, which is at the end of the day, it shouldn't be. People watch the Olympics for the athletes. They don't watch the Olympics for the committee. You know what I mean? And if it was something like roids, I get, but it was just some marijuana. So having the ability taken away from the viewer who's trying to watch a spectacle that is peak human performance taken away just cause from something that shouldn't matter, that's a disservice to the fans. That's a disservice to everybody watching. That's a disservice to future athletes who don't get to have that moment of, I saw this happen and I'm going to work towards trying to be at that level because that's inspiration for me. We've all been young. We've all watched somebody who at some time impressed us. I remember being young and I'm so sad. Thank God that there was Dwayne Wade too as another one of my favorite basketball players. But when Dwayne Wade was 1A, 1B was Paul Pierce. And he impressed me too. And there was those moments though where it's like, you know what? I want to be like this. I want to do that too. You know what I mean? And she was probably going to be that for somebody competing, but maybe next Olympics because she's still young.
Of course. And the thing is, even if I didn't check her actual age, but the oldest she could be right now is 22 because she just left LSU. If not, she's still at LSU. I forget.
She's young.
But it's like, she's dumb young. She has time. And in all honesty, since we're already here, we'll break down the Sha'Carri situation a little bit. But the Sha'Carri
people probably know
situation
at this point,
is that she got told by a reporter apparently a week before those trials that her mother had passed. So that got reported to her like before she could figure out from family, before she could figure out from herself. And so she ended up smoking weed that evening, like a lot of people who end up just like numbing pain, anxieties, just like things like boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And so she tested positive for marijuana, and so they decided because marijuana is one of the drugs classified against the rules still in 2021, which is archaic. But once again, it is a rule. I get when people mention that stuff, that she would not be allowed to run in the Olympics this year because she had a 1-month ban. If you don't live under a rock, you realize the Olympics are less than a month away, especially her event in the Olympics. And so that takes her away from her bread and butter and takes us away from getting the showdown of America versus Jamaica like we were excited to get, because that Jamaican queen was fast too now.
Jamaica go crazy.
Sha'Carri, though, was putting them times up with the Zaza in her lungs. Sha'Carri, a legend, boy. She was smoking you hoes with a Zaza.
And I want to know
good
too.
Pachulia.
I just want to know too if she rolled it up with the wood. That's even more impressive. Even more, because I don't know. I've never done that myself personally.
Of course.
But from friends who have told me, it does a toll on your athleticism.
If she was off the woods with the good Pachulia, I'm telling you, the fact that she smoked these shorties is even more impressive because she had a distance between her and second place. And she was out there pointing, talking about, I'm that girl, I'm this, I'm that. Legendary. She became an icon overnight, though. Yeah. Especially because companies like Nike decided to stand with her, and like she didn't lose endorsements or anything like that because like this is a pivotal time, especially when it comes to the classification.
And she wouldn't, because in the like where she was and everything, it's legal too, right? So it's not like that's an issue for her with the country. It's not an issue for her with like the companies endorsing her in the country and everything. It's just like the Olympics are a global.
Did you see the video of her owning it?
Owning it, saying that she did? Mm-hmm. I've seen the tweets.
No, there was a video that I believe it was.
She's like, I'm human.
It was like Good Morning America or like a morning show or something like that. It was beautiful, man. She said, I'm a human. And she ended it. It's hilarious. She said, I'm a human just like y'all, just a little bit faster.
Just a little bit faster. I saw that quote and I was like,
she cold.
Talk your shit.
But anyways, like beyond that.
Not faster than me, though. Smoking me, bro.
But anyways, moving on. Whoa. She was talking about, basically, she explained the situation, of course. She said she made that mistake. She realized what she was doing and she still chose to. And she said she completely owns up to it and she's willing to accept the punishment. Because at the end of the day, she chose to do what she did. She's not going to like cry about it. She's not going to be different about it. Yeah. She just said that the next time y'all see her, she's still going to be winning races. So she's not even worried about that side of it. Obviously, she misses the Olympics and that sucks. But she just became an inspiration. If she already wasn't, because her name was already buzzing off of just the strength of her. But seeing the poise, seeing the way she carries herself in general when it came to this situation, she didn't take no type of blame game or anything like that. She just truly owned it and moved. Like, I think that she's going to become an icon, like obviously Serena's a legend, don't get me wrong, but like the Simone Biles, the Serena's like somebody that can inspire these young girls to continue to be themselves and really just continue to step in on these people. And do what you got to do. That thing's really cool to me. But another thing with the Sha'Carri situation,
at least for the younger gen, because there's people out here who've been doing it too in certain ways that it's kind of crazy, bro. When you're seeing history repeat itself, it's just like, and these characters of like, I say characters, but I don't want to have like the wrong connotation or anything. These are remarkable individuals, just kind of just be the spearheads for different movements and shit. So it's like the FloJo shit, you know?
Bro, shouts out to the legend, the god. The one thing that kind of made me feel a little bit weird with some of this Olympic stuff, though, is did you see like the women that like it's a cis woman, like born a woman, like whatever. It's just her body produces naturally higher testosterone levels, so they removed her, and she just finished setting a world record in the 400 meter.
Wait, you're naturally born a woman, and you're competing in a race for women, and you get removed because
her body. She wouldn't take drugs to lower it because they tried to offer her a solution, crazy. And she was just like, "No, I'm okay."
I feel like at that point you're moving the goalpost here a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta just, if this is the rule, okay, cool, fine, dandy, but she's still a woman. Just let her do her thing. It kind of sucks for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
But it seems to be,
let her go crazy.
It seems to be like a weird trend, and obviously, like we're not gonna do the pointing and like whatever is. If you could read between the lines, read. If not, that's cool. But seeing like the woman that also got the 5-year ban for skipping a drug test when she was on bed rest from an abortion. You know what I'm saying? And then there was another, and then there was...
Did they clear that up, though? Because I feel like when you hear the reasoning, you should be able to, like, kind of backtrack and be like, okay, we're taking this off.
They upstand it. Like, they just decided to upstand it because she appealed it. And this was the appeal decision that came out recently.
Okay, yeah.
So that's even worse because she did. And they ended up disqualifying both of her 2020 times because of this fact, too.
That's disgusting, man.
And then the newest rule that they added within the last few days, too, which was they're banning the hair caps that black women use because it holds this isn't what they said, but black women use different one because obviously their hair is different,
so it's a little bit bigger, it holds more, and it like whatever. But what was the reasoning they said again for like why they banned it?
It was unnatural.
Or it was unnatural, or you don't need something that big for a peak athlete or whatever. Doesn't need something that big to like cover up their hair or whatever, and they should be able to compete under different circumstances or some shit like that, which is kind of crazy because there's got to be I feel like if you're just saying that without knowing anything, whatever, there's got to be one black person that they could have talked to. That I know that they talked to that explained, hey, this is definitely better for black people. And knowing that they had to have talked to one person, they just blatantly ignored it. Obviously, read between the lines here. You don't know like for sure these conversations, but there had to be somebody. There had to be somebody. This wasn't just like negligence on their part.
Because who's the
I know
committee?
they talked
Who's
to somebody.
the committee though? Like that's what you have
really
to ask
starts
questions.
to making me think
like,
though. Who are the committee behind like the Olympics and stuff?
Is it each country has its own committee for it, or is there an overarching like Olympic committee? Like, because I wonder like there has to be representation enough that people realize like, hey, what are y'all doing? Like this is weird. And like
it's a little weird.
We'll leave that for now until we get more details. Of course, shouts out to all of these young women for killing it as normal and just doing
amazing athletes. We love seeing y'all. At the end of the day, y'all are doing the hardest part and actually just giving us these performances. Keep doing what y'all doing. I'm gonna keep watching.
Amazing athletes, amazing legends for sure. And then the other thing in sports that I wanted to talk about on a much lighter note, because I think this is badass. It's like the NIL rule just got overturned. Do you want me to read the excerpt before we dive into it?
Go ahead and read what is actually being done now.
Alrighty. And so let me make sure my eyes are clear for you guys. Name, image, and likeness rights are also frequently called an individual's right to publicity. NCAA athletes will be able to accept money from businesses in exchange for allowing the business to feature them in advertisements or products. Athletes will also be allowed to use their own status as a college athlete to promote their own public appearance or companies for the first time. All Americans have a right to sell their NIL. Previously, athletes forfeited those rights as part of the terms of signing their scholarship agreement. This will no longer be the case. And so that opens up a world. I'm going to read the Joe Burrow tweet as well as just like an addendum, just so people kind of see another side of it too that they may not be thinking of and then go crazy. But the Joe Burrow tweet was, exciting time for college athletes. Most excited for non-scholarship athletes. Ooh, y'all didn't guess this. Because people only talk about the two athletes that pay all the school's bills. There's others who may have been working jobs outside of sports to make ends meet. free meals, sponsored posts, signings will make their lives a lot easier, long overdue. And that's something we don't think about. In Georgia, like just using a school like Georgia State, there are kids on the like beach volleyball team. I'm sure you can go to like Chipotle or something around the corner and they will, or some restaurants on campus, like just any teams. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was about to like kind of get into.
And give you free food to promote them, you know?
It was the fact that bringing in, again, a podcast that we watch, I feel like, you know, don't try and name drop people too much, blah, 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 on our show, on our pod, because it is our, you know. But on that I Am Athlete episode where Prime came on and they were talking about how his son was calling up some of the guys that were already on the team to kind of put in some work and kind of, you know, meet up one day, put in some work and everything. And they were just genuinely telling him, we can't make it there because, and keep in mind, this is a football team. So this is like probably the biggest sport at their school. What should be making the most money, what should be supporting the players the best. But they were talking about how they have to go to work so that they can't actually be in the position to be there and kind of, you know, practice together. So obviously I know some of those schools don't have as much funding as like Alabama or Florida and everything, but still, if those players are big enough, they should have the right to make money off their likeness to where they don't even have to be working a job like that regardless, because the same thing's going to be happening or was happening at even bigger schools, you know, where those same players, if you're not getting broken off a little bit of bread behind under the table, are probably trying to find means to support themselves and survive. So it's super sad that that was even happening, but super happy and super dope to see at least the upside of players being able to, you know, profit off of themselves and not have it, because that money is coming in. So at least it better go to the person that is coming to. And you said it yourself, what was the deal for Master P's son? What were the numbers on that? Talk about it.
Master P's son going to an HBCU as well. Somebody that was trying to lead the way because he is
that's a big name.
He's a highly touted basketball player. If I remember correctly, he's actually pretty good. Like, and it was like a huge decision for him.
I mean, his father was an NBA player, so
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, just we have to be clear. And so he ended up going to an HBCU. You know, so that was already a big decision for the sports world, which is really dope in itself. But he ended up signing the day of. That's how you know Master P the GOAT, bro. The day of, or it was the very next day after this NIL change, he had a $2 million sponsorship.
Bro, so fast. They were working on that one for a minute.
Oh, for
the
sure.
fact that it happened the next day, they were working on that deal for a minute.
How many deals do you think were going on? No, not going on, but how many deals do you think were in the works and the ending terms were whenever this rule's flipped, we got you?
Bro, how many deals? Everybody who could profit was probably has something in like a breaking case of emergency. You know what I mean? I think I'm not wasting any time if that's me.
What, bro? The
second I'm theorizing deals right now that we haven't even been in the room for. So you're telling me?
I'm telling you, bro. I see that it was even going to the Supreme Court. I would have just instantly been like, "Oh, it's actually going there." I would have started calling companies. Yeah, by I say give it a few months probably before we make the announcement, but
for sure,
like I'm definitely interested. Like here's the verbal agreement. You guys let me verbal agree to colleges. Let me verbal agree to Nike. You know what I'm saying? let me verbal agree to Starbucks. Like to
exactly.
The company's like, give me my money.
The crazy thing is, a homie of mine tweeted something that really made me think though. That Zion bag would have been different.
What?
First off, that Zion bag was different. We know that nigga getting paid under the table.
Of
Never disclose that information, Zion. And if you see this and people are attacking you, deny it. Deny it for sure. But that being said, that bag had to have been crazy if the rule was put in a little bit sooner. Because we saw the Nike stock drop. Whole percentages, like single-digit percentages, because
of a
shoe rip.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to think about...
That man was massive in his college days.
Y'all have to think about these athletes that have the burn, bro. Imagine... Actually, no, we don't have to imagine because we watched him buy a basketball team, so we don't need to talk about LaMelo Ball and the money he was getting. But, so never mind. Actually, we don't have to imagine. We saw
that conversation they're talking about. But LaMelo didn't play in the NCAA. Yeah, he went to Australia and then bought the team
after winning Rookie of the Year on it. That's so hard. I'm sorry.
So I can't believe I'm ever saying that.
That's tough. But, I mean, shouts out to the athletes, man. Shouts out to the people who were able to use your likeness. Who do you think would be your first sponsorship, and why would it be Fleshlight?
You know, it would only be Fleshlight because I like to support sex workers. So, genuinely being able to make a mold of your your parts, you know, and putting that out there so you can, like, you know, make some money and do your thing. I see nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to go ahead and lead the way and use my voice, use my platform so that I can open up an arena for other people who don't feel as comfortable to do the same.
Absolutely, my boy. Go hard. Go hard. But
yeah. But Adidas Original. Go ahead and actually get in contact with the Offspace. I'm not name dropping any more brands because, again, they don't pay us. So we're off that.
The South got something to say. Shouts out to the Atlanta Hawks, baby. Shouts out to the Atlanta Hawks. What a great run. We'll be back. Notice how I said we, nigga. The South got something to say. Once again.
Sir. Yes, sir.
That's all I got to say on that.
Sir.
We ain't even going to give them we ain't even going to give y'all the burn. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks Suns final. Whatever. That's a young Nigerian king.
Man, forget all the like communities and ethnicities and nationalities. Fuck all that for a second. This man Giannis is one of the most hard-working people truly in the NBA.
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, first teams.
Like, none of those expectations when he entered the league.
If he wins a Finals MVP and a championship, he legitimately has every award, I think.
And he's doing it
because he has the Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP award. He's won an All-Star Game too. Whoa, wait, he has every award.
He never won. Did he win? He didn't win Rookie of the Year.
Did he?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, though, so we can fact check that one. But that being said, it's the fact that, and he's doing it on the team he was drafted to after years when people were saying, get out of there. I'm people. I'm telling him, get out of there. And he's potentially about to bring home a finals and actually win. Congratulations to that young man, because he really does deserve it if they win. But I'm trying to see either way, whichever team actually comes home with it afterwards, it's going to be dope to see the storyline that falls.
He doesn't have a Rookie of the Year.
He does?
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah, but dang, he'd won basically every award if he ends up getting this. That's nuts. Obviously.
Because, Rookie of the Year is kind of like, there's a little bit of politics there too with like MVP type shit. And he didn't come into the league with expectations, but he also developed his game massively as he got into the league. So he also had to pick that up.
And you know what's crazy about the fact that just thinking about this finals, in all honesty, like all jokes aside about which teams and this, that, the South still got something to say, nigga.
Yes, sir.
But like besides that, like one of the dopest things about this finals to me in general is the fact that everybody there's dope storylines on both sides for me personally. Just like I know how badly, like not how badly, it's not like a yearning desire, not really for either of these teams, but it just makes it interesting as somebody that's become that guy, I guess, that loves sports. So the sports he loves, like I'm kind of just like a fan of the sport at this point. Like obviously I have my teams, but I'm starting to lose that like care that much about the team. I care about, like I tell people what my teams are, don't get me wrong, but it's like
I'm not about to like
I'm like a fan of the NBA.
It's not like I'm in high school or anything and it's my team over everybody. Like the rival school comes over, screw y'all, blah 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 blah.
We bleed like, black and green.
It's not like that. It's not like that. Purple and gold. It's not like that anymore. I'm sorry to break it to you. We're chilling now.
But exactly, man. So I mean, it's like that's why it's for both sides for me. It's like the Bucks win. I get to watch a young Nigerian man like really change his whole family's life. If you listen to Giannis's story, like he has a very touching, very beautiful story. And it seems like he's Igbo as well, so even deeper, shouts out. But even moving past that, like, there's Drew Holiday, somebody I watched like really put in time suffering on my team for a long time.
And it's sad because you truly just know that the Pelicans didn't do right by Drew Holiday. They tried to, but they didn't. And it's nice to see him in the position to possibly win because I think he's been the most overlooked player of the last at least 5 years. For sure. 5 to 6 years. For sure. People can say Dame, people can say whatever. But Dame's even getting his shine. Like Drew Holiday is definitely the most overlooked player.
Because Dame gets his shine in a different way. Drew just doesn't get shine. Now it's like
I think there was genuinely years he should have been an all-star.
For sure. Years he should have been an all-star. There was years he should have been defensive player of the year. There was years he should have been first team all defense for sure. But it's like now that so many players have kind of like forced the narrative down these niggas' throats, they're starting to like kind of do the gimmies to Drew, but it's like he earned all this.
You know what it is?
Earned all this.
You know what it is though? It's the curse of, again, that team mentality of like my team over everybody, to where the big markets and their fans end up phasing out the importance and like I guess like nice gameplay of anybody else because they're playing for a smaller market. Because I remember at that time the Pelicans were a very competitive team for a solid amount of years. Very competitive team that I think one year it was the Boogie AD Rondo year that they were there with Drew, could have won that championship if everyone stayed healthy. We're giving Golden State a run for their money every regular season game, playing it like playoff games. I was watching these. I was there for them.
No, I was watching everyone.
LeBron tried to copy the
We were
mold.
the only team too. Like, because even LeBron, because LeBron, speaking of LeBron, as somebody who peeped, like he peeped early what was happening with the Pelicans because he instantly started to talk about AD and Boogie, like the combo of AD and Boogie being nuts, like how crazy talented AD and Boogie was. Like he peeped instant early, like, oh, that's going to be a problem to stop because prime Boogie was looking like the most skilled big man of all time.
Exactly.
He was liable to give you a triple-double any night, but them rebounds a lot of the times had a 2 in front of them. You know what I'm saying? It was 2 digits and it had a 2 in front as the first number a lot. Like that man was killing them.
He was filling up the
Killing them.
stats.
And knocking down threes, dunking on anybody, footwork crazy, but obviously injuries, we know the story. So like you were saying, like we were a competitive team. And Drew had his opportunities, but it's like that front office, we know what they do.
And so it was just dope to be able to see like all this stuff happen now. But again, small markets, it kind of sucks. But I guess small market making it to the biggest stage, you can't deny them any longer. You can't deny them any longer.
I think now, especially with the world of social media, how it is, it's like markets kind of don't matter. Like they matter, I guess. Of course, like there's the allure and the tickets and like the being in Phillips or being at Madison Square Garden. We get that. But it's like with the internet, it's like Charlotte was looking like a big market team last season.
Yeah, but it's because of who they had. Because think about it like
this. Who they had, of course.
Think about it like this. When you're watching as like a live game, right? You want to be live tweeting and shit. Maybe not you specifically. I'm just saying like the individual. You want to be live tweeting with other people in the community. You want to be watching it like as like a group. But no one's like, hey, if there's 5 games going on, one of them's the Lakers, one of them's like the Heat even, one of them's like, I'm not about to say the Knicks. One of them is Golden State or something. No one's about to be like, hey, let me tune into the Pelicans game. And if anything, the fans are shitting on you if you are tuning into the Pelicans game of these other markets. They're like, why are you watching that? Watch this game and let's talk about it.
You look nuts, too. Like, I tweeted about a Pelicans game once while a Golden State game was going on, and all my niggas killed me, bro. Like, I got roasted to dirt. They're like, bro, why is your TV even on that channel? It's like, nigga, I'm streaming illegally and still feel bad.
Wait, what?
I'm streaming legally and still feel bad.
Yeah. For sure.
I hate this nigga, bro. Cover bases for sure. But other than that, now that we have the finals picks, we've said our love for everything having to do with like that Suns team for a little second now.
Yeah, we've already sung the praises.
My main question to you then would be, who do you got?
Who do I got?
Bucks.
Man, it's gonna be tough because like is Giannis?
How many?
Is Giannis gonna be? He's gonna be back.
Call him healthy. We're just calling everybody healthy.
Yeah. If everybody's healthy, even though he's not going to be healthy, he's going to want to play, and they're going to let him play, so they're going to pump him full of something to numb the pain or whatever. Because I know what that hyperextended knee be like, bro. It's kind of different. Suns and foe.
Suns and foe?
Nah, it's definitely not Suns and 4. I think it's going to go to a Game 7. These are 2 dogs of teams, and I don't think one has the edge over the other. I think it's going to be a Game 7, and you don't know who it's going to be at the end of the day.
I'm not going to lie.
So I'm not calling anybody.
I'm not going to lie to you, like for real. And this hurts my spirit to even say, because I think if I had to weigh the scale for myself, I want a little bit more the Suns to win. So I'd say 51-49 for me wanting the Suns to win. But I low-key think it's either going to go to a toss-up Game 7, like you said, just because they are 2 dogs, and we can never count out the
deep rosters,
and we can never count out the contenders on both teams. But I low-key think with Giannis back and just like what he can draw, if they play him correctly in terms of just like how he's feeling in his health, with Drew like taking up the mantle like he has, and with
Chris
Middleton,
never forget that man
being. Almost said something mean. With Chris Middleton being a little darker skinned Clay right now, with how he's shooting and how he's playing, to be honest,
and Brook Lopez turning into
into prime Shaq off the bench, like
what?
Stop. Like what? But anyways, like with that, I low key think the Bucks, if both teams play their best basketball, I think the Bucks win in 6.
Okay. And that's a valid take, to be honest, because the Bucks are just a good team, man. Like
their defense is just a little bit deeper, and I think that matters too much at this point. Especially with we've played like whatever we played games, so you can only kind of speculate like going deep into the playoffs and how tired you must be, how your body feels. Like the teams that can keep up that defense past this point, and the teams that every team's going to be a little bit gassed, like you're going to still be trying your best. You're still going to be working. I think that it should fall into the Bucks' hands there, but once again, you don't know because they're both dogs of teams. This is a.
I was going to say though, it's nice because the Bucks defense is what they are, and they're gonna bring that defense. I don't think it's gonna like go down at all. Obviously, if Giannis isn't playing some of these games, it's gonna drop because he's him. But the Suns' offense, they have such good team basketball. They can find it anywhere, even if it's not going for one person like that. Like Devin Booker might be off a night, somebody else is gonna pick up the slack, and they just are gonna move the ball around and get their guys shots at their spots at all times.
Watch that just be the worst take ever, and then like the Suns win in 4 or something, and I said Bucks in 6. Like that'd be incredible. Mook, don't kill me. I know you fuck with this, but I know you're the only real Suns fan I know, to be honest.
And I don't believe anybody said, bro. I saw so many Milwaukee fans out in Atlanta yesterday. Do y'all believe it? I don't, bro. I saw, me and DJ are sitting there in line, and there's these group of like these frat guys in front of us, and few of them have on Milwaukee jerseys.
You're like, y'all didn't just fly down here from Wisconsin.
Bro, actually, I'm going to tell this story off the pod. I'm not going to lie. Let me come back to this.
That's hilarious. But other than that, man, like that's some playoff stuff. Shouts out to all the teams. Shouts out to people even getting this deep into the playoffs. It's been a rough season, of course, with how quick the turnaround was. People did what they have to do, and we still got great basketball. I've still thought it was a great playoff in general, like seeing some dogs of teams fight. My main thing with sports is just watching the beautiful dance. Like, so the end result doesn't really matter as much to me as it used to. I just like to, once again, watch a beautiful dance in between. And so watching good basketball, watching good teams play, watching good individual play is always going to be a one-up for me.
Oh, couldn't have said that any bit better. It's just beautiful basketball. It's like Mac Miller during that Tiny Desk performance. And when I'm watching like the NBA, especially the finals, I already know what to expect. Obviously, the last finals were a little bit scuffed for obvious reasons, injuries included for sure. Or the bubble one, that was the last one, yeah. But it's a beautiful thing, man. Basketball's a beautiful thing, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
But with that, do you have anything else for the people this week?
Only thing is to make sure that, again, if y'all aren't following us on everything, what are you doing? Go ahead and get to it.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Other than that, this is the Offspace.
Space.